Hello everybody, I have been told in my chat they want to uninstall Dota because they've lost quote-unquote 20 games in a row, and in a game like this where they go 20-0 in Weaver and they still can't win, you know, they just want to end it, their Dota career. So what I will say is a couple things. First off, losing 20 games in a row, you can't possibly be delusional enough to think that it's not you. So I would hope if anybody is losing 20 games in a row, it's obviously possible to have your teammates let you down in some, but to lose 20 games in a row, you have to consistently be performing below average of whatever MMR you're at. Secondly, if you are going into these games wondering why you're not winning, rather than what you could do better, then your mentality should shift, because the second you start focusing on winning and losing, you're focusing on elements that you cannot control. Only your play can you control.
Banana slam jam.
I will say Weaver, Slark, and Ember are three heroes that come to mind that can absolutely be 10-0 and have a really hard game. And the reason why is these heroes don't exactly take objectives all that well. They are incredibly elusive, and if their spells are incorrectly cast, it's often not them that die, it is their teammates that die. That is something I will say right off the bat, but let's go ahead and watch. So, good start. Being pretty aggressive in the lane. I actually like this a lot. Shouldn't have Sakuchi through the creep wave there. Should be making sure you preserve the equilibrium in front of your tower. But you actually elected to push it by a little bit. Teammate dies, is what it is. Everything seems to go according to plan. Weaver's laning stage pretty strong, so you should have a good start. You're really Sakuchiing through creeps that are not going to die to your Sakuchi, and you've missed like 4 CS doing that already. Such as that one. You've missed attacking the Lycan 3 times. Probably would have died there. Okay, we're going to go back aggressive on the Lycan. Okay, he does die.
Killing spree.
Okay, 3-0. What are we going to do with this lead?
Thanks for playing Dota 2.
So the key is to turn this into something palpable, tangible. Using Sakuchi when uncontested at half mana. Walking into tower range, taking 400 damage for free. It's more like 250 damage. So we used resources when there was nobody in front of us, when we didn't have spare resources. Still being aggressive, but our support's not really doing anything, such as life. Definitely being overly aggressive. Pretty much nothing you're doing in lane is geared towards playing for creeps. You're pretty much just playing to Sakuchi the opponent. I pretty much feel like the enemy creep wave's neglected. So although we have 3 kills at 344, we have 10 CS. So that's a great way to go 20-0 and have no way of carrying the game. 860 gold. We're going to go for a Falcon Blade. Definitely need some tangos because we plan to take some more damage during this lane, I would anticipate. Maybe a raindrop against the Shaman for some mana regen and to deal with his nuke. We're currently sitting at 2,000 gold compared to the 1,600 gold of Lycan. Yet we have almost 1,000 gold, maybe even more, sitting in our inventory. So what that means is we are winning the lane, 3 kills, 14 CS. I mean, not all that great in the CS department. We're up by 300 gold, and we're effectively down by 300 because we have our money at base rather than in our inventory. Enemy anti-mage is free farming with a mega kill. So what that means is your room for error will be very little. Just because you're having a great game doesn't mean the opponent or one of their heroes is not having a great game. So whenever I'm having a really good game, I try to recognize who on their team is strong and what I can do about it. Anti-Mage is a hero that Weaver doesn't really do much to because, you know, you have no hard lockdown. You also don't really out-farm Anti-Mage, so the only way you can solve this problem of Anti-Mage is to pressure his teammates, right? That's the only thing you can do. So specifically, Lycan when he doesn't have ult, especially Tinker. You know, Anti-Mage, even though he's getting good farm and a good start, what he's going to do with it is farm. So he's going to make absolutely no space for his team. And you're a hero that's capable of doing so. So I would be running incredibly aggressive, like you're doing now. This is good. Very good. And I would clear this creep wave, and I would actually go mid, I think. Because Lycan's dead. Oh, no, never mind. Tinker's dead, so I would not go mid. I'd pressure the tower. Where are we going now? We're taking a jungle camp. Okay, we just missed 3 creeps in lane. 2 creeps for... Okay. Not that bad, I guess. You took his jungle camp creep, but he ended up getting one anyway. Okay, so now he has Helm Dom. Not really much you can do to him. Absolutely no reason to static the wave here. You're wasting your time. You don't pressure him anymore, so instead of denying, you should just push out the lane and farm jungle. Took an extra 5 seconds or so there. I have no idea what's going on mid. I'm not even looking at it. No idea what's going on there. I'm going to pressure the tower. You're a hero that's capable of responding to this shit, but we're actually going to pressure the Tinker. This is actually really good, though. He teamed to your lane, so if he wants to do that,
Mega kill.
that's fine. Got the Mega Kill. Very nice, very nice. Maelstrom online. You know, I would take a quick second pause and do this. I would see Anti-Mage is level 8. I'm level 10. Shadow Fiend level 8. Tinker level 9. Offlaner's level 7. So you're the highest level in the game by a large margin. What can we do with this advantage? We see, if we checked Anti-Mage's items, we'd see he's working pretty close to a Battle Fury because he's on such a mega kill streak. These are just things you have to know. I don't really know them by looking at your player perspective. So this is a situation where we have two choices because the opponent is representing pressure. The opponent's representing pressure, and we're really strong. So we have two choices. One, to fight the pressure, or two, immediately create pressure somewhere else. So the only reasonable choice here when you're the strongest hero on your team is to respond to the opponent's strength. It doesn't matter how you do it, but you have to respond. The only thing wrong you can do here is by jungling or just doing nothing on the map. So the correct play in this instance, since you don't have ultimate or maybe you're nervous to fight them, it's up to you. I would TB bottom here. I would personally go bottom because they're creating pressure. There's no tower here for you to push here, and there's a lane where Anti-Mage, you could just run at him. You're not killing him, but what's happening here is similar to the video I made, where they're farming two side lanes. You can't really do anything about them farming this lane, but you can absolutely stop this guy from farming his lane. So I assume we're just going to jungle, which is absolutely a thing to do if you want to lose the game when you're 5-0. I'm going to actually try to defend the tower. So the entire team came here. I actually like this choice in regards to at least you made one of the two choices. Ends up working out pretty well, actually. So, fine, actually. I'm fine with the result of this. We're gonna push top. Absolutely have to TP bottom here. Absolutely have to TP bottom here. Right now, you have to TP bottom. This is really bad that we're continuously AFKing jungle. You're a Weaver with highest net worth by a large margin on your team, and you're playing your own jungle. This is acceptable if your team is making space for you, rather than the other way around. You're a carry that absolutely makes space. I want you to realize that you're an earlier game carry, and you're much stronger than this guy, and he's the one farming a lane while you farm jungle. Just think about that for a second. That is absolutely how you lose games on heroes like Weaver and Slark, heroes that don't flash farm. We're going to be aggressive. Better late than never. This is good, though.
Godlike. It happened again. Double kill.
Okay. Turn this into a tower mid. No, we're going to jungle. Okay. I dig it. You know, jungling in Shadow Shaman wards. Tower mid. You know, pretty close call there. It really isn't a close call, but just in case, you know, it wasn't detected. Okay, we're now going to go for the tower push mid and get saved. Pog. Oh, fuck up. Okay. I was told you were 20-0, so this better not be a lie. Okay, we lived. So we turned kills into effectively like 300 gold. So the cool thing about this that you can see is we got these kills, right? So you ask yourself, do we go for objectives or do we go for efficiency? So based on the fight that you just won, you know, your goal when you win a fight is to accomplish something that the opponent team doesn't accomplish. So a lot of times, like, if you are the anti-mage team, if you were to win a fight, you'd absolutely want to farm, right? That's like the goal. That's great. So like right now, you've won the fight, and you have to ask yourself what's going on the map. So what's going on the map is an anti-mage is absolutely free farming, and you know, you could choose to free farm as well. But if you win the fight, your goal is to get more gold than the enemy team or accomplish more than the enemy team. So right now, at the end of the fight, I'm actually curious. After the fight, you're up by 570 gold. So when the enemy team respawns, you are now up by 570 gold. So you have effectively, or 630 actually. So a little bit more. Now it's 500. Okay, so you are actually behind the anti-mage now, after winning a fight, okay? That's because you chose to take the tower after the enemy team was already alive, so inefficient interactions on the map. We're now farming jungle against an anti-mage. We're going BKB. I would probably go for an item that gives me consistent pressure. Probably Lincoln Sphere. Gives you mana, gives you sustain. You're going to get hit by Tinker a lot. This is decent pressure, but you also are against Tinker with no tier 1 towers at 17 minutes into the game. I think the main opportunity missed was mid-tower. Problem against heroes like Tinker is if you miss opportunities to take towers, you usually don't end up getting the tower for a very long time. Still losing to Anti-Mage despite being 11-0. It's definitely a matchup Weaver has this issue with. Still jungling, but we have our BKB done. Definitely got to ramp up the pace here. We're really strong. Should just do something with it, whether or not it's just a kill on a Tinker, support, anything. So we have our BKB. I would have called for a smoke myself, but maybe that's not reliable in your brackets. You do end up narrowly living here. Your BKB timing results in a 2-for-1 for the opponent, so that sucks. Not necessarily your fault, but it is what it is. That's what's happening in the game. You need like multiple items here, and you also need an item that kills anti-mage. And that's fine.
I'd say wicked.
That's fine that you need multiple items. This isn't me complaining about you. This is me saying, like, this is literally reality. You need BKB to play fights. You need Lincoln Sphere to play map. And you need, like, Daedalus to kill the Anti-Mage. And you probably need level 25 to reliably kill Anti-Mage. So just, like, all this stuff combined, you need a lot of shit. Like, I'm looking at the game objectively. You know, I'm literally saying, like, missed opportunity here, a little bit extra jungle farming here when we could have gone bottom and applied some pressure. Just little opportunities here and there missed. And then at this point in the game, before this death, you're approximately even with Anti-Mage. So let's just act like those opportunities went your way where you chose the right thing. Maybe you're up by like 500 gold. And then at the same time, we're looking at the situation where you and Anti-Mage are the top farmed heroes in the game. Like, are you complaining to me that the enemy carries having as good a game as you are? Like, is that upsetting to you that the opponent carries having just as good of a game? Like, how often does that happen, right? That happens a pretty good amount. Most of the time when you're winning your lane, the enemy carry is also winning his lane. It's not always that case, but that's pretty common. So I would say like 90% of these games get decided by which carry dies to the other carry. Like, really, because you're both so high net worth. It's so concentrated on both of you. You know, if we look at, like, the total net worth of the team, is it, like, F6? Total net worth, you've got a third of yours, and he's got a third of his. So, really, whoever kills who is going to win the game almost every single time. And then so we walk into their jungle, or, like, their side of the map that they have control of, die by ourselves to the Anti-Mage, feeding him 700 gold. So now we're down by 1,500 gold. Personally, I would know that this death pretty much means GG, because suddenly this even game, in a game where you get outscaled, he's ahead of you now. So what I'm basically trying to tell you is a lot of people are complaining about hard games. I myself have complained about so many hard games, but if you watch my Quakefest sessions especially, we talk about this. We talk about looking at the game and saying, okay, how many mistakes can I make based on what's going on in the game? I can tell you that if both carries are like way up here, the first one to make a major blunder is probably going to lose the game. Like, that's actually what happens. Like, most games are not decided by like 1 or 2 mistakes. But if there's 2 heroes way up here and one of them dies to the other, it's pretty much GG most of the games, especially if the one that died is outscaled by the one that killed him. Like, that's almost GG. So I think overall, like, I expected to see this, and I'm just going to be honest with you, your mentality is like fucking garbage. Like, why are you not enjoying this game? You're literally the most powerful hero in the game, free farming, doing whatever you want, choosing the wrong things that I've pointed out at least like 5 or 6 times already, and you're like triggered. I don't think your team's done really anything wrong. Maybe they're not playing perfectly or whatever. Nobody's tilted. Only you. And why is that such a bad thing? Like, why are you so upset that you were the strongest hero on your team? You chose to run blindly into enemy vision and die to the most farmed hero on the enemy team. Why are you so upset about this game? That's it for delusional aspect of the day. Hope you got something out of it. Maybe you're done with Dota because these type of games aren't enjoyable for you.